What's going on? And welcome to the Football World with Juice, back here for our Week 1 NFL recap. We're going to go through some games, discuss what happened in Week 1. Give me your thoughts, football fans. Let me know, what do you guys think went well? What's your thoughts on teams on your team this season? Like, is your team good? Is it just okay? Did they not have a great Week 1, but don't count them out yet? Let me know. Let's discuss. Let's overreact. Here we go. I'm calling this overreaction day because it's time to overreact here. All right. Week 1 started with the Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the banner raiser. I just got to say, I was at a loss for words on Friday. My best friend is a Lions fan, and he could not believe it even. Like, man, that was – if you count out the Lions this year, I think you're crazy. Like, the Lions, they are – not like in the levels, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Niners, like the best teams in the NFC, but they're right there. Like, they're getting there. I think they could be there by the end of this year. Like, don't be shocked if they become Super Bowl contenders. Like, really, like, I mean, their offense, Ben Johnson, great offensive coordinator. He'll be a head coach next year, I think. I mean, Jared Goff, I haven't always been the biggest fan of Jared Goff, but I think he does get it done when he needs to. He's a guy that can play in the NFL if he's put in the right situation, and I'll give him that. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, baller. The offensive line, rock solid. They were pushing the Chiefs D-line like back through the end zone. Like, the Chiefs could not get anything on Jared Goff. Jared Goff had all day to throw. I mean, the Chiefs couldn't stop the run. The Lions just got it. They got the run game going in that game. I think it's going to continue. I think the Lions are a contender this year. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I like I like that combo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery as the running backs. I mean, if Williams comes back and resolves his gambling issues, look out for this team. Like, really, like, don't mess with them. You can't take them lightly anymore. They're not the same old Lions. I do question Dan Campbell a little. Coach, like, he's a great hype man, great motivator. I think great leader of a team, but he does make some decisions that kind of make you go, like going for it on 4th down in that game when they had it at like the 50. But yeah, that's my take on the Lions. Kansas City, I know people are going to start hating on them because, you know, they're the Super Bowl champs, but listen, like, I'm not worried at all. I wouldn't be worried if you're a Chiefs fan. Like, I mean, you had no Travis Kelce. You had no Chris Jones. That won't be a thing next week. You'll have both of them. I think Kansas City is still – they'll win the AFC West. I think they should be – I'd still put them at the top of the AFC with – I mean, the team that I also think is at the top of the AFC we'll have to discuss later because they did not play like it this week. But, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, typically – every now and then there's one or two teams that pulls the away team goes in to the home team's building on the banner raiser and they still win, and that happened with the Lions this week. Dan Campbell also outcoached Andy Reid, I think. So that's another prop to Dan Campbell. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say really about Week 1. I mean about the kickoff game. Let's move to Sunday's games. We're going to start with the Niners Steelers. The Niners are pretty damn good. You got to admit. Like, the Niners are a team that right now, I think that they're a pretty safe bet to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. Like, I really do. Like, I mean, like, what? They don't have any holes. Brock Purdy's playing like Brock Purdy was one of the best quarterbacks this week, I thought. I mean, he's playing with swagger. He's off the injury. I did feel like they might lose this game. No. They won this game convincingly. Brock Purdy was playing like he should have been the first pick in that draft, and Kenny Pickett should not have been the only quarterback taken in the first round. But, yeah, I mean, the Niners defense, rock solid. Nick Bosa, questions about him playing this week? No question at all at the end. I mean, like, one thing I do have to say, too, is what is it that Kyle Shanahan has done as a coach that makes people think that he is not the best in the NFL? Like, seriously, like, I mean, this guy made Mr. Irrelevant relevant. Like, there's no offensive coach in the NFL where you can just completely take the quarterback out of the and it's still a Super Bowl type offense. Like, I mean, like, this guy he's the star of the show. Like, he runs this whole team. Like, he's the star of the show for him. Like, and what's unreal with PFF this week, they had Mike Tomlin, a guy that Kyle Shanahan just coached, out game planned, all that. They had Mike Tomlin ahead of Kyle Shanahan. Like, dude, come on, man. I mean, like, how many quarterbacks does Kyle Shanahan need to have come play in his offense and have great passer ratings, put up unreal, have great EPA, all that stuff? Like, we're seeing it with Brock Purdy now. We saw it with Jimmy G last couple of years. I mean, we saw it with Nick Mullins a little bit. We saw it with Matt Ryan winning MVPs. We saw it with RG3. I mean, Kyle Shanahan was his first offensive coordinator, made him a top 10 quarterback at the time as a rookie. Like, I mean, Matt Schaub even. Like, we saw it with Matt Schaub when Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator, and he was like, I mean, how many quarterbacks does Kyle Shanahan need to make look great for people to think he's the best coach in the NFL? Like, I don't understand it. I'm a Pats fan, and I'm willing to admit that Kyle Shanahan right now is a better coach than Bill Belichick. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I think Kyle Shanahan deserves the respect. He's the wizard of offense. He's also a great defensive coach. Like, I mean, he's had multiple number one defenses in the NFL with different coordinators. Like, he's not just an offensive mind. He's a football mind. He knows everything about he just understands everything about football, and he knows be a leader of a team. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, sure, like, okay, he's had multiple coordinators, but he also, he's the one that hires these guys. He's if you're as great offensive mind that he is, he's got to understand the defense. Like, I don't get it. Like, why will people not put him at the top of the coaching rankings? That's all I want to ask. Like, but yeah. And then Niners fans, like, how are people not sold on Brock Purdy yet? Like, what has Brock Purdy not done to make you think he's not going to be the future of the Niners? Like, I'm like, seriously, like, Brock Purdy right now, that was a top 5 quarterback this week, in my opinion. I mean, he's loaded with playmakers around him too. He's got Debo, he's got Brandon Ayuk, he's got George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. Like, dude, this team's gonna go to the Super Bowl. Like, I know it's overreaction week, but like seriously, I don't think that's an overreaction. I think that this team is probably a safe Super Bowl. And then on the other hand, the Steelers, this was just awful game planning by them. They were not ready. I mean, Kenny Pickett looked like a rookie that had never played in the NFL before. I mean, their offensive play calling was terrible. Like, and the defense wasn't as overwhelming as it's been in the past. Like, I don't know. I just think that, like, yeah, did I pick Pittsburgh to maybe win this game? Yes, but like, I was wrong. But I think we got to give the Niners the respect they deserve. I think, like, I mean, the Niners are the team that I think should be getting the respect. The Niners get no respect. Like, they are the best team in the NFC. It's not that close. So yeah. So there's my reaction to Niners and Steelers. Next one. The Cincinnati Bungles and the Cleveland Brownies. The Bengals, yes, are back to be in the Bungles for the first couple of weeks of the season, as they typically are. But I mean, like I don't know what to say. Like, do I think the Bengals will play like that all year? No, but like, they were dominated by the Browns. And I mean dominated. Like, the Browns dictated this game. They embarrassed Cincinnati. I mean, Deshaun was making plays. He could make any play that he wanted. He didn't have the greatest passing game, but like, he made some great runs. He did make some good throws when he needed to. The Browns defense will be a top 10 unit, I think, by the end of this year. It was one of the worst. It was arguably the worst in the league last year, but they actually have a real defensive coordinator now who knows what he's doing. Their defensive line, top 5 in the league. Top 5 in the league. Myles Garrett, stud. Baller. Maybe defensive player of the year this year. Who knows? Bengals, on the other hand, like, I mean, Joe Burrow, 81 yards passing the whole game. 81 yards, that's it. 14 to 31 for 81 yards. I mean, dude, like, your offense just looked lost all game. Like, T. Higgins, I don't think had a catch. I'm not Cincinnati. Like, I think they will still be. They should win the North. They'll probably be in the end be the top dog in the AFC still. Like, I think it'll be between them and Kansas City. But I mean, man, that was embarrassing to watch. Like, I think the Browns are a little underrated, and I thought they were going to win this game because they always beat the Bengals, especially at home. But I mean, that was just embarrassing to watch. Like, I thought it would be a good game at least. Like, I thought Cleveland would win, but I thought Cincinnati would be a good game. But yeah. So the Bungles are here for now, but I think that they will eventually they'll be in the top 4 in the AFC. They'll win the division probably still at the end of the day. Man, they got some work to do. I mean, that improved offensive line, not improved. Didn't look at this game, but man, that was tough to watch. But so yeah. Next game. I went through every game, by the way. Like, I'm just going through the ones that I saw and like the ones that I think are best to talk about, and like the ones that, you know, have something for me to talk about, like the ones that I liked watching. So the next team to is the Miami Dolphins and the LA Chargers. I mean, props to the Dolphins for winning. Yes. Did Mike McDaniel have a great offensive game plan? Yes. Did Tua make the plays he needed to? Yes. Is Tyreek Hill the best wide receiver in football? Yes. Like, but the thing I don't get with the media is, why is everybody saying that Tua is now like, oh, he's the best quarterback in the AFC East this week? Like, guys, Tua has to do one thing every game: get the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill. That's it. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, get the ball in those two players' hands, and they're fine. And he's fine the rest of the way. That's all he's got to do. It's going to be the quick RPO game every time. Like, if you just double team Tyreek Hill, which the Chargers still don't know how to do, the Chargers still don't know what a double team is. But like, if you double Hill, the Dolphins, like, they're not as good as that game might have shown. Their defense stunk that game. They couldn't stop the run. They don't even remember a time that they had 200 rushing yards. Maybe it was the year of the Superchargers when LaDainian Tomlinson had like 30 rushing touchdowns. But the LA Chargers, year in and year out, continue to frustrate me every time I have to watch them play. And I want the Chargers to do good. I love Justin Herbert. I think he's a baller. But man, this franchise just – Brandon Staley, you're a bum of a coach. Like, I don't know how you still have a job. Like, I don't know how Brandon Staley still has an NFL head coaching job. His defense, year in and year out, stinks every year. They can't stop the run. I mean, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa were his whole game. The Dolphins had those two handled. Derwin James is a baller, but he got beat by Tyreek Hill a couple times in this game. Why are you not double teaming Tyreek Hill, especially inside 2 minutes? Like, I mean, you should have won this game, and you did it because your coach, oh, we don't have to double Tyreek Hill, or we don't have to double Jalen Waddle. We're just going to play the same defense game. You're a defensive coach. You should know what you're supposed to do in those situations. I mean, I feel bad for Justin Herbert. He has so much pressure on him every game because his defense can't stop anything. Like, they've got to win a shootout every week. And, I mean, Justin Herbert, you got your right tackle back. Good. Like, your offensive line was amazing in this game. I'm just saying. Your offensive line played great in this game. But you guys still can't pick up a blitz or anything. Like, and what's still unreal about Brandon Staley as a coach is his decision-making and the amount of times he goes for it. He doesn't know when to go for it on fourth down and when not to go for it on fourth down. He doesn't know when to call a timeout correctly. Like, I mean, this guy's an idiot. Like, he's going to hold this franchise back. Like, sure, he got him to the playoffs last year. Yeah, they blew a 28-point lead. Like, man, the Chargers, you guys should have won this game. Like, I think this was the game of the week where both teams, like, it was the game of the week, but both teams are not that good. Like, I'm just saying, none of these teams, I think one of these teams might make the playoffs, but both these teams will not make the playoffs again, like they did last year. So, yeah, there we go. The Dolphins and Chargers. But, and one more thing. Welcome back to the NFL, Vic Fangio. Your defense stinks. Your defense can't stop the run. Yeah, they made the plays when they needed to. They got to Justin Herbert when they needed to. But still, like, I mean, I've got questions. I'm worried about the Dolphins a little bit. Like, I respect Mike McDaniel. I respect Tua. I am a Bama fan, so I respect all their Bama players. But man, team, they need to stay healthy. If they don't stay healthy, they are not going to do anything this year. So yeah. Next, the Raiders. Just win, baby. The Raiders went in and they did one thing. They just won. My man, Jacoby Myers, stud. Great pickup by the Raiders this year. He essentially won them the game. Jimmy G, the leader of Jimmy Handsome, the most handsome quarterback of all time. The greatest leader of a football team in this league. He went in there and he stabilized that locker room immediately. And he outplayed Russell Wilson, in my opinion. Russell Wilson didn't play bad. Like, I thought Russell Wilson played good. But Jimmy G went in there. He did have that one pick in the end zone, which, yeah, that was on him. But, like, still, like, it didn't matter at the end. Jimmy G did what Derek Carr never could do, and that was win the big games in the fourth quarter when they needed to. This Raiders defense is improved. Like, last year, one of the worst defenses in history. This year, I mean, they came to play. Like, they made the plays when they needed to. I love Tyree Wilson. I think Tyree Wilson's going to be a baller. But, man, the Raiders just win, baby. Jimmy G gets the ball out quick and into the hands of Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Jacoby Myers, all of them. He hands the ball off to Josh Jacobs when they need a big run. The Raiders, I mean, don't sleep on them this year. They could be scary good. They could be sneaky good this year. Like, I really do believe that. Like, I love Josh McDaniels. Obviously, I'm a Patriots fan, so I got a ton of respect for him. But, dude, I mean, like, every media member wanted him fired last year, but, like, this guy's a leader. Like, haven't given up on him. They didn't give up on him at all last year. They lost, like, 9 games by 1 score, and it was by blowing a fourth quarter lead. This time, they're 1-0 by 1 score in games decided by 1 score. And they were able to hold on to that fourth quarter lead. So don't sleep on the Raiders this year. Like, really, like, I know I've had Raiders fans tell me, like, oh, Juice, don't get me started again, please. We've had like 2 winning seasons the last 20 years. I think you got a chance this year. I really do. Like, I would not, like, the Raiders are going to be that team where you can't take them lightly. Like, you can't. Looking over to the Broncos. Sean Payton's debut starts with an onside kick. What a surprise. I thought that was a meme. That was kind of funny to watch. That was cool. And then the player ruins it by illegally touching it before it went 10 yards. But the bottom line was this. I think they'll have good games this year. I think they will be more watchable this year. Russell Wilson played great in this game. Props to him for that. But man, this team is just, no matter what Sean Payton does, like, I've got a ton of respect for Payton as a coach, Super Bowl winning coach, all that. But I mean, no matter what Sean Payton does this year, no matter how much how many yards Javonte Williams has, no matter basically anything, no matter how good their offensive line is, no matter how good their defense is, which their defensive line did not play well in this game. Like, I mean, it was not as good as it should have been, or as good as it's been in the past in this game. And I think it's just, I don't think it's going to be like what it was the last couple of years, especially now that they don't have Bradley Chubb. But the bottom line with the Broncos is I think they're going to hang around in a lot of games. Like, I think this game showed you that they can play. They can still play. Like, they have a lot of guys that are older and through their primes. But I think they will be in a lot of games. I think that Sean Payton will at least, make this team competitive and fun to watch. And it'll be a lot better than last year where you appeared on like 6 primetime games in the first 7 weeks, and it was just the most unwatchable setting in human history. But I don't think it's going to improve by much this year for you guys. I just really don't. Like, I don't believe in Russell Wilson anymore. Like, I just think he's inconsistent. He'll have some good games. This was one of his better games. This will be one of his best games of the year. But ultimately, he's washed. Like, he's never going to be what you guys thought he was going to be when you. But I mean, if this team can find an identity, like, I don't think they've found what their identity is yet. But like, if they do early on, like, I think they're another team that you can't bet against, and like you're gonna have to fight to win the game against them, because I think they will put up a fight in most games. But ultimately, like, I just don't see it. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know, Broncos fans, but I ultimately just don't see the Broncos being what Broncos fans might think they are this year. Like, I really don't. But yeah, so just win, baby. Just win, baby. The race and the Broncos. That is my thoughts. Then we're gonna go over to probably the biggest one, my biggest game of the week on Sunday. My team, the New England Patriots, versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Tom Brady homecoming game. They honored him. They announced he's going to the Hall of Fame next year. That's great. I hope to be at the induction, but who knows? But I want to defend my team here a little bit, because the media is going to be critical because of how they played the first 3 minutes. It was raining at that time. And Mac Jones threw, like, he had like 7 balls that went off or went right through his receiver's hands, and his receiver just didn't catch it. Like, why is Mac getting all this hate for it? Like, there was really nothing he could do. Like, the pick 6, yeah, I can see that. Like, he did get rid of it a little quick. It was a little bit of a high throw, but Kendrick Bourne, you got to catch. Like, we got to have that one. Like, you can't be just letting it go. You can't just let it hit your hands and then go right to the other team and they take it in, because that was maker in the end. It proved to be. But listen, I think I've got great feelings about the Pats this year. Like, I really do. They played their hearts out in this game. They did not stop fighting. It was so much nicer to watch this team play under a real offensive coordinator. So much better than last year. But under a real offensive coordinator, this looked like a professional offense. It wasn't, we're just going to dump it off to Ramondre Stevenson every time and have him make every play. No, it was distributing the ball to every receiver, getting the ball out quick, not allowing that Eagles vicious pass rush that they supposedly have, which I think is vicious, but not letting them get to our quarterback. I believe Mac was only sacked like once in the game, and it was late in the fourth quarter. And they also were missing 2 starters on the offensive line, 2 of them, and they were 2 of their best ones. So, I mean, like, really, the Eagles escaped this. They escaped Gillette with the win, but I don't think they should have won this game. Like, it ultimately came down to the first 3 minutes, and then Butte, or whatever his last name is, he couldn't get his foot down on 2 passes. Like, those were ultimately the difference makers. Like, like props to the Eagles, but I thought the Pats outplayed them in this game. I think Mac Jones outplayed Jalen Hurts by a mile. I think the Pats outcoached the Eagles in this game. Like, I think last year the Eagles probably would have outcoached the Pats in this game. I'm just being honest. Like, and I mean, they held, in my opinion, the best offense, like the hardest offense to predict in football. They kept them in check the whole game, outside of the first like 3 to 5 minutes. Like, they've struggled with containing mobile quarterbacks in the past. And I mean, our defense, best defense in the league, or at least it's up there with the Niners and the Cowboys. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's a top 3 unit in the league. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh, and for like all the hate on our wide receiver group, like, yeah, we dropped some passes in this game, but like, seriously, our group are like, if we have Devontae Parker in this game, the 2 Kayshon Boutte drops, or the 2 that he didn't get the second foot down on, that's probably where Devontae Parker comes in. So like, just keep that in mind also. Like, the Eagles passed the eye test in this game, but the Pats still outgained them by 150 yards or so. They them in pretty much every other stat except points. It reminded me a lot of the Vikings game last year, where like the Pats were able to move the ball. They had some downs in the game early on, but like they were able to move the ball. And then like their opportunity, like when an opportunity to score came around, it was either they just couldn't come through yet, like the chemistry wasn't quite there, or it got taken away by a penalty. Like, really, like, I don't know. Don't sleep on the Pats this year. I think they're going to be really good. Like, I think if Buffalo plays like how they played last night, the Pats could win the division, honestly. Like, so yeah. The Eagles in this, I think I'm seeing a step back a little bit this year from the Eagles. Like, I just do. Like, I mean, the NFC's champion typically does not repeat. I'll tell you who I think is going to win it in a little bit. But, I mean, their offense did not look the same. New offensive coordinator, yeah, but, like, their offense did not look the same. The defense is solid, but, like, I mean, when you're facing an offensive line that has 2 reserve players playing on it, like, I mean, you got to get to the quarterback, man. You're the best pass rush in the league. Like, I don't know. I think the Eagles, they escaped Gillette with a win, but like in most circumstances, if they play this way, they probably don't win these games. So I'm just saying, like, the haters want to say, oh, the Pats are done. Like, they can't do it. There's no way they're going to compete in this game. No, they're wrong. The people that say, oh, the Eagles are a Super Bowl favorite this year, they're wrong. So, yeah, there's my take on the Eagles-Pats game. Then we're going to go to Sunday Night Football. And I just want to say one thing about the Dallas Cowboys. I have never been, a Cowboys supporter. Like, I do find making fun of the Cowboys fun. And, like, this team is legit. This team is legit. Like, and there's no way around it. Everyone will be like, oh, it's the Cowboys. They say that every year is their year, and it never happens. This year is the year it might actually happen, though. Like, this defense, I know I said the Pats defense is the best in the league, but the Cowboys defense, in reality, best defense in the league. There's 3 best defense. There's 3, the top 3 defenses in the league, and there's no way around it. The best, the Cowboys. Second best, the 49ers. Third best, the Patriots. It's that simple. Like, those are the defenses in the league. But, like, I just don't think the Cowboys get enough respect either. Like, Dak Prescott managed the game. He didn't play great, but he managed the game. This defense, I don't think anybody can. I don't know who's going to score. What the highest amount of points scored against this defense will be this year. The best in the league. But like, nobody talks about them. Like, they all want to talk about the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals. Like, guys, the Cowboys are in that category too. Nobody wants to admit it because it's the Cowboys. I know, but like, what makes them so different? What makes them so different? They are so balanced. Like, they might be, like, I think this could be the year they get to the NFC Championship game. I really do. Like, I think it's probably going to be the Niners and the Cowboys. I really do. Like, they should win. The Cowboys should win the East this year. I mean, there's no offensive lineman in football that can block Micah Parsons. Secondary improved with my guy Stephon Gilmore added to it. Still making plays, as old as he is. He's a future Hall of Famer. But man, look out for this team. Like, really. This team I think might be a top 5 team in the league. Like, it's not an overreaction. And then they are what we thought they were. They are a average team that beats the bad teams. And then when they have to rise to a good team's level, they get smacked. It's that simple. Like, I mean, we saw the Eagles smack them all 3 times last year. The Cowboys destroyed them both times they played last year. The Cowboys smacked them on Sunday night. Embarrassing. Like a 40-0 shutout under the primetime lights in MetLife Stadium. I mean, come on, man. Like, you guys had that field goal block. You had a good drive, first drive. You had the field goal blocked, and then you just gave up. Like, come on, man. Brian Daboll was not prepared, the coach of the year. He did not have his team prepared for this game. Like, I mean, dude. Like, people want to have the Giants higher on the rankings, but like, seriously, they are no more than an average team. Their offensive line still sucks. They can't block anybody. Daniel Jones has no time to get rid of the ball. I mean, like, if Saquon gets hurt again, like, they're screwed. Like, they are screwed. They rely so much on Saquon to make these beast runs with no offensive line in Daniel Jones's legs. But like I personally want the Giants to do good, and I know that's because I'm a Pats fan and I've seen them beat us in the Super Bowl twice. But like, I think it's better for football when the Giants are good. Like, I mean, like, I think it's good like when the Giants and Cowboys, are playing a tough game on primetime, but like, this was embarrassing, man. But yeah, so there's my take on the Giants-Cowboys game. The Cowboys are the far better team. They are the second best NFC behind the Niners. And that is that. Like, that team could be special this year. Like, I don't think that's an overreaction. The final topic, the game that everyone's been talking about, is the Monday Night Football, the Bills and the Jets. That was to watch Aaron Rodgers go down. Like, really, like, that's the worst injury in the NFL since 2008 Tom Brady. Like, I'm serious. Like, that. Like, that's tough to see. Like, 4 plays in, and Rodgers gets hurt and tears his Achilles and can't play is out for the rest of the year. Like, dude. Like, that's sad. Like, especially, like, I feel bad for the Jets and their fans. Like, and again, coming from a Pats fan, no Jets fan has ever seen a better quarterback play for their team. Like, ever. Like, this is the best quarterback the Jets have ever had. Actually, like the last respectable quarterback that the Jets had, like before Aaron Rodgers, was maybe Chad Pennington. But like, he was nothing special. Like, he wasn't as special as Rodgers is. So yeah, like, prayers to you, Aaron Rodgers. I hope you come back next year and you're able to do what everyone expected you to do this year. But look, I think the Jets season is now toast. And I think people are kind of overreacting last night. Like, they're like, oh, they're fine. Like, I mean, Wilson managed the game. Yeah, he did a little bit, but like, he wasn't playing a great defense. He won't be playing a team every week that's going to throw him the ball 4 times and give him great field position at the 50-yard line every drive. So, like, Jets fans, like, you guys can be confident all you want, but, like, I just want you to know that you guys are not – that was your best win of the year last night. Like, you're not winning it. You're not going to win more than 3, 4, 5 games this year. Like, it's not going to work with Zach Wilson, especially with Nathaniel Hackett calling plays. Like, I'm serious. Jets defense, though, beast. Like, I mean, I'd say there's 4 top defenses in the league, and the Jets are that 4th team, along with the Cowboys, the Patriots, and the Niners. The Jets are that 4th team. They came to play last night. They were ready to go. They knew how to defend Josh Allen. Like, I mean, like, you got to give them credit for last night. Like, they won the game for him. It's that simple. Like, everyone's going to say, oh, the offense won in the game and the special teams won the game. No, the defense won in that game. That defense doesn't get 3 takeaways at the 50. They're not winning the game. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that is how it is. It's that simple. Yeah, that's my take on the Jets. I still have a lot of questions about Robert Saleh as a coach. Like, I mean, last night when, like, this is the game management I didn't understand. Like, it's not bad, but like, when they went for it on 4th down, they just continued to run the ball, and they couldn't run it all the way down to, they couldn't milk the clock all the way down to kick field goal with no time left. Like, why you keep running the ball then? Why don't you try to go for the end zone or something? Take a shot in the end zone. See what happens. Make the Bills have to go the full length of the field. But yeah. Now I want to talk about the Bills. Like, I mean, man, that was embarrassing to watch last night. Like, embarrassing. Josh Allen turning the ball over 4 times. He looked like rookie Josh Allen that didn't understand how to play in the NFL last night. I mean, he's got Stephon Diggs, and that's it. And Diggs is always double teamed, so he's got so much pressure on him to throw the ball in the right spot to get it to Diggs, because Diggs is his only receiver who can make plays. But, like, I mean, dude, you got to read the defense. Like, come on, man. Turning the ball over on back-to-back snaps. One of them was on a botched snap that you weren't ready for. Like, and you called for it. Like, come on, dude. Like, can we stop saying that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league? Like, why am I the only one that does he's not the best quarterback in the league? Like, I'm serious. Like, I mean, yeah, everyone thinks Patrick Mahomes, which is true, I think. But, like, Josh Allen is not the second best quarterback in the league. Like, I'm serious. Like, why do people continue to say that? Like, he's a great quarterback. Like, he's a top 5 quarterback, sure, but, like, he's not the best or second best. He turns the ball over 4 times a game, it feels like now. And, like, you don't see that. That's what a good quarterback does not do, is turn the ball over. Like, and how many times are we going to see the Buffalo Bills year in, year out try to build a Super Bowl roster and not that they play in fucking Buffalo? Like, how long is it going to take? I mean, this team can't run the ball. They can't stop the run. Still, 4 years in a row, their defense is still overrated. It's not the number one defense like everyone thinks it's been the past 3 years. Like, I mean, like, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook were running all over you guys last night. Like, oh, man. Like, everyone's saying this team's going to win the Super Bowl in a couple, like, every year now. Like, they've become the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. But, like, you guys aren't. Like, you're not going to win one. Like, you keep trying to do the same thing every year, and everyone's got you all figured out. Stephon Diggs has so much pressure on him every game to make plays because he's always double teamed, and there's no receiver behind him to support, to, like, give Josh Allen somewhere to go when Diggs is double teamed. Josh Allen is the best runner on this team. He's going to get hurt at some point with how much he runs the ball because he's got no running game. This team is just, like, this is the last year possible for them. If they do not win the Super Bowl this year or get there at least, they got to break something up. Like, something's got to change. They got no pass rush. Their offensive line is not great. Neither is the Jets, by the way. That's another thing I got to say. I'm very worried about the Jets' offensive line, too. But, like, the Bills' offensive line, not great. Pass rush. Still can't – like, they can get pressure every now and then, but they still can't stop the run. Like, I mean, like, this team has to be the most overrated team in the AFC. Like, it's not that hard. Like, I was at the playoff game a couple of years ago. That was the best chance they had to win the Super Bowl, it felt like. Like, the game, like, I went to the game when they destroyed the Patriots. And, like, that just felt like, I'm like, yeah, they're probably going to go to the Super Bowl. Nope, because they can't stop the run. Their defense, their number one defense in the league, can't make any plays. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, can someone explain to me the genius McDermott? Like, I mean, he's going to lose him another playoff game this year. Like, I know it's going to happen. It's happened every year since he's gotten him to the playoffs, it feels like. But, yeah, so reaction, or overreaction, I should say, because I might be overreacting a little bit to week one. Those are my biggest takeaways. If you got any other big ones, get in the comment section. Of course, like it up. Subscribe to the Football World of Juice for more NFL content just like this.